Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains episode review. This time we will be going over episode 101 of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, the third part of what seems like a never-ending duel between Bowman and Playmaker, the final duel of the season. And this episode was by far my favorite part of this duel so far. 99 and 100, the first two parts of this duel, I thought were good. I didn't think they were anything, out of this world by any means, but I thought they were table setter episodes. I thought this episode and next week, which of course is the season finale, were really going to be very intense, very good episodes because of what 99 and 100 did. And 101, very good episode. Really enjoyed it. Loved what happened with Akira, with Emma, with the neuron link, with the scene with and Robopi even crying up. I mean, that, it didn't make me tear up or anything, but I was like, wow, that scene was a lot sadder than I thought it was going to be, as is getting disintegrated by the neuron link, but is still able to get into the neuron link and destroy it. I thought that was a really, really well done scene, and for someone like myself who views as as a comic relief character, a comedic relief character, but I don't really love as much as I think a few people do. The scene still I thought was very well done, though. I thought it was very sad. It even invoked some not actual emotion from me in terms of physically crying, but I was like, wow, that actually made me feel a little sad. That was a really well done scene. The Akira scene was great. The dueling action in the last 7 minutes, really intense. Bowman with another Link 5 monster, Perfectron Hydra Drive Dragon, which was, I thought, very symbolic because now that he has and all of the Ignis are gone, he can create this perfect dragon, which was shown by the name of this one, Perfectron. So I thought that was very symbolic. And yeah, I thought overall it was just a very enjoyable episode. I do want to address the animation really quickly because towards the end of this episode, there were a few shots that were very interestingly animated. Now, I don't want to say it's bad, horrible animation because I feel like animation, just like art, is very subjective. And so I don't want to come out and say, oh my god, the animation was atrocious, especially someone like me. I mean, I can barely draw stick figures, so I'm not going to, who am I to criticize a professional animator's work? That being said, it was definitely the most differently animated episode I think we have ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. Even the shots of Gnome, Faust, and Vira at the end were very, I don't want to say suspect again because that kind of makes it seem like there's a standard that we need to follow when it comes to art and animation, but there were very differently and kind of strangely animated shots in regards to what we've expected the first 100 episodes. But again, when you have a show like Yu-Gi-Oh! That airs week in and week out, especially since most anime shows go 12 episodes, some go 25 episode seasons, and they have, even the 25 episode ones have half a year to prepare and to animate scenes and get everything in order. Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have that luxury. It's never had that luxury for almost 2 decades now. So this is a small price to pay for weekly and daily content, and I'm completely fine with it. I don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! For out-of-this-world animation, but speaking of out-of-this-world animation, the season finale is going to be done by No Gilbo. Some of the shots in the preview for 102 looked amazing, so if you did have a major issue with the animation in this episode, I'm sure next week's episode will make up for that. So just hopping around, another thing that I loved about this duel, if Playmaker defeats Bowman, which it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think they have ever ended a season with the antagonist beating the protagonist. You don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! For its unpredictability. It's when it comes to at least end of season duels, it's usually pretty standard. So I think most of us know that Playmaker is probably going to win this duel, especially based on the preview. We saw the Hydra Drive counter already down to 2 for his Perfectron Hydra Drive Dragon, so Playmaker is going to be getting the counters down, lowering the attack points of this dragon, and I'm sure he will be able to break through at some point. But what I'm going to love about this duel when it's all said and done is the assists that Playmaker got. Playmaker cannot say, I won this duel on my own. He won thanks to Akira, he won thanks to Emma, he won thanks to Faust, Vira, Gnome, and who would have guessed that the last people rooting for Playmaker and supporting Playmaker and conveying the audience's emotion, basically, would be Gnome, Faust, and Vira. I did not see that one coming, but it really does look like these three are going to survive the entirety of the duel, which is really, really awesome. That was a little unpredictable. If you had told me at the beginning of this arc that the three lieutenants would be the ones of all people to be rooting for Playmaker and I to defeat Bowman and would be basically what the audience is being conveyed towards, I would have majorly doubted that. So that did catch me a little off guard, but I think it is really cool for three characters that I wish got a little more time in the limelight. They had another arc where they all dueled once, and then that was kind of it. So at least they're kind of making up for that, and they're not extremely irrelevant characters now. I mean, hey, when we look back on it, how did Playmaker defeat Bowman and save the world? You have to give a major assist to these three lieutenants, Faust, Gnome, and Vira. So my hats are off to them, and I really do enjoy that they are narrating pretty much this duel from the hot dog truck of Kusanagi and from the HQ that Vira is still in. But that's what I love. They weaken the neuron link. They think they destroy it, but they only weaken it. And then I sacrifices himself. And Akira, the death of Emma caught me off guard. But I knew that Bowman was going to figure out what was going on in the sense of them trying to destroy the neuron link. Because when Akira tried to interrupt the duel between Bowman and his sister Blue Maiden, Bowman knew exactly what was happening. He immediately called out Akira. He immediately called out Zaizen. He knew that Zaizen was trying to interfere. So I knew it was just a matter of time before Bowman was going to realize that the Knights of Hanoi and Zaizen and Ghost Girl were trying to destroy the neuron link. And so Bowman opens a portal in the room that Zaizen and Ghost Girl are in. Zaizen's about to be destroyed. Emma shoves him out of the way and takes the hit for him, which I think goes a long way to show the progression of character in Emma Besso. Emma Besso in the beginning of the show, there is no way she is doing this. She was the most selfish character in the world. She only cared about herself. She only cared about money and riches. Hell, she wouldn't have even been in a position where she was trying to help the people of VRains and trying to help humanity. She would have dipped. If this was the first half of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, she's outie. There is no way she's even in this room with Akira. And now she's pushing him out of the way to die for him and to die to try to save the world and save everyone. Very brave. Great move by Ghost Girl there. And she is a character that, as she has progressed as a just genuine human being a nice person, she has grown on me quite a bit. So I enjoyed that scene quite a lot. And then Akira's about to press the button and he freezes. And I'm like, oh no. And the lightning bolt is through him. And Akira is dead. And he has this moment, and I thought this was amazingly done. He has this moment where he remembers Blue Maiden, and he remembers his sister, and he remembers Bowman being the one that obviously killed his sister. And Bowman starts bragging about how no human can stop him. He's a god. He's a god beyond men. And then you just see the neuron link start to vanish, starts to turn black. The data storm vanishes and he doesn't get his card from the skill he was trying to use. And we all realize that Akira used the last bit of willpower to hit the key and kill this neuron link. And Playmaker's theme hit. That was probably one of my favorite scenes in a while, actually. Loved how they did that scene. And we just see Akira fall to the ground right in the same room as Emma with his creepy, lifeless eyes. And it was just a great scene. Akira and Emma, my hat's off to you guys. Akira sacrificed himself so that Playmaker could defeat Spectre, and so that Spectre couldn't use him as hostage because Playmaker didn't really want to attack and be the one responsible for Akira's death. So this is going to be another major win that Playmaker gets because Akira sacrificed his life for the cause. I absolutely love Akira Zaizen, man. I think he is such a good character. Amazing scene for him. Amazing scene in this episode. The link gets weakened. Bowman starts to lose his grip on Mirror Link VRains. He starts to repair the neuron link, and then I sacrifices himself. Really good scene as Playmaker is shouting for I to come back. I kills himself, as far as we know, destroys the neuron link, but Bowman is still able to use his Master Storm access. He's still able to use his skill, and instead of just using the neuron link to take the souls of people, because Hayami, as soon as the link was destroyed via Akira, was able to log everyone out. And I thought that was even a pretty sad scene when Hayami, as we know, she has a pretty major crush on Akira. She's calling for Akira to answer the phone like 6 or 7 times, and obviously Akira is dead, but I'm sure she knows that Akira is probably a victim of the neuron link. I'm sure she probably will figure it out. Then again, it's Hayami, so maybe not. But Hayami does make the call to log everyone out, so at least she did something important and humane in the Soul Tech office, which you probably can't say too often for employees of Soul Tech. But then again, Hayami and Akira have done a lot to help link VRains. It would be nice if by the end of the show, those two are like the new king and queen chess pieces. How cool would that be? I'm getting a little off topic, but that would be really awesome. That being said, really good scene there. Bowman is able, though, to use, as I was saying, the Master Storm access. Instead of taking the souls of people, he just starts taking Link VRains entirely. He just starts taking the data of Link VRains, starts literally destroying the network just to defeat Playmaker, just to become this god. And we see the frog and the pigeon die. That was a bit of a surprising scene, but as the tornado started to follow them, I was like, no way, they're going to die too, aren't they? And so Playmaker is truly alone. He can't even look to his top left and see these two fools, the frog and the pigeon, floating there cheering him on. He is genuinely alone, but I'm sure that the progress he has made as a character and as a person, the bonds he has created, which is what I was doing, was basically restating as he was flying towards this neuron link, listing off all the people that he's made connections with. Again, very good scene. I'm sure that will lead Playmaker to victory. He's alone again, like he was before the show started, but he's not hell-bent on revenge anymore. Through these bonds, through these experiences, through this journey of now 101 episodes, he's learned what it's like to have friends and to trust in people, and to have people help him, like Akira and the three lieutenants and Emma, and I'm sure that is going to be a very big emphasis point on 102, and why Playmaker will win this duel. Bowman summons the Link 5 Perfectron Hydra Drive Dragon. Loved the design. I thought it was going to have multiple heads, but the fact, I don't know which design I like more. I honestly think they're both very good designs. I love the color scheme of this one, but I love the 7-head concept, one for each Ignis for the other Link 5, so I'm not sure which one I like more. And the effect of Bowman's Dragon, the second it had 0 attack, and it was a Link 5, I knew it was going to have a disgusting effect. And the effect of this monster is it gets 5 Hydra Drive counters, so for each Link, I'd imagine. So it immediately has 5,000 attack, because it gets 1,000 attack points for each Hydra Drive counter. And then, and he also has now Judgment Arrows on the field, so every time he attacks, it's going to have 10,000 attack. But moreover, every time it attacks, it can remove a counter, and then reduce the battle damage to 0, and then destroy all of your opponent's monsters, and they take damage equal to the amount of, I believe, Hydra Drive Link monsters, or just Hydra Drive monsters in the grave. I know it's Link monsters. I don't know if it's generic Link monsters or Hydra Drive. I don't remember the exact effect, but anyway, of course, he has 8 in his grave, 300 points of damage for each, 2,400 life points. Playmaker only had 2,500 left, so Playmaker, as we probably could have guessed, has 100 life points left, which is a classic number that he seems to always get to in these duels, and it is 100 life points with no cards on the field versus Bowman's 2,500 life points with this disgusting Link 5 dragon, and that is where we leave off. Playmaker saying that he will win for I, and that is how this episode concluded. I thought it was a great part of this duel, and I am so excited to see what happens in episode 102. But guys, please let me know all your thoughts down below. I am really excited to hear from all of you guys, and yeah, let me know if you think there's any chance Bowman will win. I don't know if anyone's actually on that train, but if you are, please please let me know why you think he's got a chance. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. A special thank you to my platinum tier patrons: Lexa Baker, Glen McGookin, Jorge Carrillo, James Rose, Samuel Stark, Thomas Adderley, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Vincent Van Der Veen, Brian Gerald Ford, and Rexkentrix. And to my Diamond tier patrons Jesse Wood and Garrett Palmer, and to my Egyptian God tier patron Chris Swan. A huge thank you to everyone who supports me over on Patreon, and all my new patrons. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it and how much it truly does help out the channel. And a huge thank you to everyone who just watches these videos, because without you guys, I would not be able to do this. I will talk to you all down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.